Let's compare two really amazing anamorphic lenses, the Atlas Orion 40mm and the Laowa Proteus 45mm. Both of these lenses are designed for APS-C sensors, but the test was recorded with the Sony FX6, which isn't the optimal camera to record anamorphic because the lack of an anamorphic mode, and no additional focal length extender was used to keep it fair. It isn't a scientific test, it's more a real-world comparison. I shot also a lot of short films with the Atlas, which you can find on my channel, and now one with the Laowa Proteus 45mm. Which I will link here in one of the top corners. Laowa sent me this lens to test it out, but they don't have any influence on how this video turned out. The Atlas I owned by myself. Let's start with the physical comparison. The front diameter is 140mm, which is the standard for most of the cine lenses. The aperture on the Orion goes from T2 up to T16. And on the Laowa it starts also by T2 and goes up to T22. Which is a wider range. Both lenses have standard size gears on focus and aperture. The focus draw on the Atlas is around 300 degrees and on the Laowa it's a bit more, but both of these lenses are buttery smooth. These two lenses are PL mount versions, but you can have it also with other mounts. As much as I know, the EF mount is also available for both of these lenses. But I generally prefer the PL mount versions because this way you can adapt it to every camera out there. The marking on these lenses are available as metric and imperial. I am more used to metric scales. The Orion has the traditional blue lens flares. It exists also a silver version from it. This Laowa is the amber version, but you can get it also as a silver or the traditional blue lens flare edition. As you see, the Proteus is quite a bit longer compared to the Atlas, which can become tricky when you use it on a gimbal. But with the Crane 3S I had no problems. But it's quite a heavy setup. Sometimes I use the large format extender on the Orion, then it's also longer. What maybe also can be interesting for some of you is the sound from the lens when you change the focus. That is the Laowa and that the Orion. The Orion is a bit too noisy, as you see. And now to the more interesting part, how these two lenses compare in the real world. Firstly, you can see how the breathing of these lenses compare to each other. I think both of these lenses are quite good for anamorphic lenses. And now you can see the barrel distortion of these two lenses on the upper line in the image. And now a sharpness test from T2 up to T8. The Orion is wide open, quite soft, which is very tricky for a focus puller. But in the darkness it looks more sharp. But why exactly I can't tell. Maybe it has something to do with the name of the lens. However, the Laowa is wide open, impressive sharp in my opinion. Here you see the close focus from both lenses, which is not that big of a difference, it's nearly the same. But because the Laowa is a 45mm, it looks closer. Now here you see the sensor coverage of these lenses. I used sometimes clear image zoom to have the possibility to reframe, but also large format extender will do the same trick. Next we look at the bokeh at daytime and nighttime. I noticed directly in the process of filming the short film that the Laowa has a perfect oval bokeh. The Atlas had sometimes a more edgy feeling to it, and sometimes it looked more like a raindrop than an oval. But what's your opinion? Let me know in the comments. But what I also noticed, sometimes the Laowa had a very strong chromatic aberration, also on the edges from the bokeh, but really not in every case. But this I never saw on the Orion. And now the lens flares. Here you see it side by side. It's not the best to compare because it isn't the same color, but it should work to get a feeling for it. It's also a matter of taste, which color you prefer or fits better the story you want to tell. In the Laowa, I noticed sometimes some gloomy reflections on the edges, but this part of the picture gets cropped anyway. I hope this video helped you to get a better idea of these lenses. If you want to purchase the Laowa, you can use the link in the video description, which would help this channel to make more such content. And feel free to subscribe if you like this video. We're currently working at a huge online filmmaking school with really all the secrets of filmmaking, from the basics up to the business side of things. It took alone for the script more than 1 year of work and research. By the end of 2023 will be the launch. If you want to profit from limited early bird offers, you can sign up for the newsletter in the video description. And now stop consume for today and let's create.